Hey guys, this is Steven with High Voltage Airsoft. Today I wanted to walk you through the installation of an EOTech 552 holographic sight for a flat top M4 airsoft gun. For myself, it's a Crytek CRB that I'll be installing the sights on. I used to have a carry handle sight and I play a lot of CQB matches, so I figured it was time for an upgrade. Went out and got the EOTech. So I just figured since I was doing the install, I'd walk through how to mount it on there secure, how to sight it in, how to change some of the settings and things like that. All right, so the first thing we'll want to look at doing, I'll grab my Crytek here. Like I mentioned, this is the Crytek CRB. So you can see it's the flat top M4 style. And so previously I had this carry handle sight that was on there. And what I'd like to do instead is install this new EOTech 552. So it's really pretty straightforward to do the install. A lot of people talk about the different places that they'd like to mount it, and honestly it depends on your application. For me, doing a lot of CQB, I want to have the widest sight radius that I can get, and I just want to basically have it as close to my eye as I can. So what I'm going to plan on doing is just mounting it basically as far back as I can and still have it be fully secured to this rail right here, and then just tighten it down like that. Some people may want to do it a little bit farther up if they're going to use a magnifier, things like that. But me personally, I just like to have it as close as I can to my eyes as possible. So what I'll do here is go ahead and really you have these two screws right here. One's for windage right here and one's for elevation. You got a few buttons that's going to control how to turn on the sight, turn on the reticle, change the color and things like that. And then for this model, for the 552, there's really just one screw that you're going to use. It's this screw right here that's going to actually use to tighten it down on top of this rail system. So what I'll do is just slide this on here. And you can see, like, you'll actually feel it click in that one screw that runs across there. It's going to fit in to one of these shallow parts on the rail. So you'll see, kind of got to play with it a little bit. Loosen this screw a little bit more, and you can see there it is. So that's as far back as I can get it, or as far back as I'd like to get it. And so what I'll do is just go ahead and tighten this thumb screw. Flip this around so you can see it. And honestly, I mean, you might be okay just leave it at thumb tight. I always like to get it as tight as possible. The reason being, I don't want to accidentally mess up my zero. So my personal recommendation is just wrench down on this thing as hard as you can without breaking anything. I mean, honestly, with a flathead screwdriver, we're not going to be able to get it crazy tight, but it should be tight enough to where when we're running around in the field, bump up against something, it's not going to totally ruin our zero. So that should be pretty good. I mean, you can feel it's really secure. The next thing you'd want to do, if you hadn't already, you can lift this lever up, slide this out, and the 552 takes just 2 AA batteries per the manual, so you'll want to go ahead and install those if you haven't already, and you can just put it back on, and then you'll just lower this lever and it'll actually tighten it up against there. Let's see here. There you go. So you can feel it kind of click in, and then just tighten this lever until this actually seals up against it. So honestly, at this point, the sight's installed. So what we'll want to do next is take some time. We can look at the buttons and walk through how to zero it in, which will probably be the most important part for making sure it works properly. This right here on the left side, that's the screw that we just tightened down to actually mount it to the rail. Then you've got the 2 screws on the right, and these are for adjusting your zero. So you can rotate one, and it's going to move the sight down. You can rotate the other one. Basically, one's your windage and one's your elevation. So you see that one that marks rotating right, that is your windage. The one that's rotating down, that's your elevation. And then, like I mentioned, there's 3 buttons here, and one in the center, one on the left, and one on the right. So the one on the right, if I click that in, let's see, you can actually see the reticle pop on. And if you click this middle button, it's actually going to adjust the color between red and green. So if I click in this button more right here, it's actually already maxed out, but this increases your reticle brightness. If I click on the button on the left, that decreases my reticle brightness. So that's pretty straightforward. And then if you need to turn it off, which you should definitely do because the holographic sights will burn through batteries, just go ahead and click these 2 buttons at the same time. and it'll actually turn off. And if you want to turn it on again, like I mentioned, just put this on. And I'm going to go ahead and just max out the brightness again until it stops blinking. And for this model, when the reticle starts blinking on and off, that's your low battery alert. So you'll want to change your batteries out. All right, so I have my range set up, have my iPro on, ready to take a few shots and see where we're lining up out of the box, and go from there to adjust our zero. So. And like I mentioned, I'm just putting that aim dot, that reticle, right on the black circle in the middle. I'm gonna do 3 shots and then we'll go see and look where it landed. First few shots, ignore these. These are from a previous take. These 3 right here. We have a good little group. I mean, it's about like a 3/4 inch group, and we just need to, our windage looks about good. We just want to adjust our elevation. Right now, our aim point on a reticle, we're landing a little bit too low, so we just need to adjust that. Let's see how we can do. So for adjusting our elevation, when this is labeled down, what that actually means is as we rotate clockwise, you can see a small arrow there, we're going to be moving our point of impact on the target down. So since I was already hitting low on the target, what I want to do is rotate this counterclockwise and see if I can't get it to come up a little bit. So I'm doing maybe about 4 or 5, let's say 4 turns. So there's my group of 3. You can tell elevation wise, I mean grand picture, we're not far off. I'm gonna probably just leave that how it is for now and then adjust as I keep scooting farther and farther back from my target. So now, we wanna move our point of impact a little bit to the left. We'll shoot another group of 3 after adjusting just a hair to the left and see where we're at. So like before, if I wanna adjust to the right, I go clockwise. Since like I said, I wanna move my point of impact to the left. And it's just a little, so there's 1/4 turn, 1/2 turn, 1.5 turn. Let's do 1.5 turns. Let's see how that puts it. All right, let's see how we're landing now. And of course, doing 1.5 turns put us about the exact same distance on the other side of the target. So let's see, 3/4 of a turn should get us about here, moving to the right. All right, so I've spent some time going through, dialing in, adjusting using the windage and elevation on the hollow sight, and I've got it about as good as I can get. So what I'd like to do now is just test it, see how I do. Basically go from one end of the basement to the other, which is about the longest range I'd see in CQB. See if I can hit ammo can. Aiming my reticle on the center of the ammo can, and that's a hit. All right, guys, so thanks for watching. Hope you learned something. Hope it was informative and useful. I honestly, just coming from even just doing this time, setting this up, sighting in the hollow, I absolutely love it so much more than that carry handle sight. The reason being, when you pick up, when you pick up that rifle and you go, that holographic reticle just pops out right to you. Versus before, honestly, what I was doing is just shooting with my carry handle and then just watching the BBs fly. But now I feel like I have such a good sight window, can go through, make the shots that I need to, and should be just a lot better for CQB, should be a lot better for low light conditions, and it should be good to go. So I'll be sure to make a video and talk about it a little bit more after I play and see how it goes, but feel really good about it. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. This is Steven with High Voltage Airsoft. Feel free to reach out to me with any questions, comments, or anything like that. If you'd like to see a video that I haven't done, holler at me and I'll see if I can't make it happen. Thank you guys for watching. See ya.